This is Caitlin, your host of the No Sleep for Dramas podcast, where we get no sleep and survive on coffee to watch just one more episode at night. Hello, and welcome back to another episode on the No Sleep for Dramas podcast. I'm your host, Caitlin, and we're back. I finally was able to find the time to record a currently watching My Watchlist episode. I feel like it has been months since I've done this. Obviously, I know that the last episode I released was in June, so basically the entirety of summer, I have not talked about what I'm currently watching, just what I finished in the wrap up episodes. Normally, I release this in the middle of the month, and if I had waited to do that with September, I would have skipped another month because for some reason, every time I have a weekend that has something social in it that I am away from my apartment or even the state or go home or something, it happens to be in the middle of the month, the weekend right before I record these episodes. So I switched some things around this month, and I am now going to be releasing this today as I recorded this the weekend before. So I apologize if this is a little early because I just released the wrap up for August last week. I don't think it will be too bad because I am currently watching a lot, and a lot of stuff are new that I added to my watch list, and a lot of stuff I have never talked about, and I'm going to be adding more. So if you are ready for a current watch list episode, sit back, maybe turn this on while you do some chores, or I don't know, grab a coffee, sit down, listen for an hour, and let's get to what I am currently watching. If you've never listened to an episode of this, this is the episode that I talk about everything I'm currently watching. That is everything from Korea, China, Japan, Thailand, Taiwan, American, British, whatever I'm currently watching, anime, variety shows. And the format I usually go is K-dramas, then it's if I'm watching variety shows from Korea, Chinese dramas, variety shows from China, Japanese dramas, varieties from Japan, Taiwanese, Thai, anime is in the Japan, and so on and so forth. So it's just go by country, and then if it's variety shows or anime or animation shows from that country. I always start out with Korean dramas. And I will say my watch list, as I've said, there's a lot of new stuff on here. There's some stuff that have been on the back burner for months that I just need to eventually finish by the end of the year. There's some things that I'm just gonna be watching for a very long time because it's an ongoing show and it has many, many, many episodes, and I just kinda watch it here and there whenever I have time, but overall, I'm watching a lot, so let's get into it. First thing I'm gonna talk about is all of the Korean dramas I'm currently watching. I'm currently watching 2. I started Queen Mantis. It premiered yesterday, September 5th. I watched the first episode the day it dropped right after I got out of work because I have been looking forward to this crime drama for a long time, ever since it was announced, probably in January. Why have I been looking forward to it? I'll tell you. 1, it's a crime drama. I mean, that's a given. 2, it stars one of my favorite Korean actors, Jang Dong-yoon. He has never done a crime drama, at least in this context. He's done Solomon's Perjury really long time ago. He played a high school student. Yes, it's a crime drama, but this is like a proper, he plays an adult crime drama, which is very dark. It also stars Go Hyung Jung, and also I'll name some other people: Cho Seung Ha, Lee El, Kim Bo Ra, and Lee Hwan Yu. If you guys have no idea what Queen Mantis is about, Go Hyung Jung plays Jung Yi Sin, who is a serial killer whose nickname is Queen Mantis, and she murdered 5 men 20 years prior to the start of this drama. And Bang Jung-yoon plays her son, and he hates his mother, loathes his mother, absolutely doesn't want anything to do with her, and he is now a police officer. So in the present day, he's working as a police officer. She is behind bars in prison. And one day, this murder comes up that is pretty much an exact copycat of his mother's murder. So now they have to enlist her help. I watched the first episode. I loved the first episode. I'm not surprised. I loved the first episode. This is a dark, dark, dark crime drama, and I anticipate it's just gonna get darker. Jang Dong-yoon, as I predicted, has done a phenomenal job in the first episode. His acting is always great, and I'm really excited to see his performance. Go Hyung Jung, I don't know if I've seen her in a drama. I mean, I definitely have. but I just don't remember what. I've never seen her in a role like this though. She is nuts. She is the star of the first episode for sure. She is creepy, she's scary. Her character definitely has ulterior motives, but you have no idea what those are. She's something that is going to be very exciting to watch in this drama because her acting is really, really good. I'm curious how she and her son's relationship is going to go because he, as I said, absolutely loathes her, hates her, doesn't want anything to do with her. It's very clear he has not told anybody his relationship with her. So I can see that being told to everybody by the end of the drama and causing a lot of tension. It's going to be a problem. She definitely has some secrets and some type of plan in her head that she's probably going to execute. This is only 8 episodes long, so I'm really curious how this is going to play out. I'm so glad I am finally back to watching airing dramas, and I plan to keep up with this. So this is Queen Mantis. The only other Korean drama I'm currently watching is Good Boy. It kind of was put on the back burner for a while I was finishing up some other dramas, but now I'm back to watching it again. I am 6, 8 episodes in. I think I'm pretty much halfway through. I plan on completing this in September. I'm loving this drama. And I know some people, at least social media, I think people either liked it or loved it or didn't like it. There's a lot of mixed reviews on it. I'm liking this so much more than I thought I would. There's definitely some K-trauma that is gonna happen. I don't know how bad the K-drama is gonna be. I have not been spoiled on this. I'm really surprised I have not been spoiled on this drama, maybe because a lot of people haven't watched it, but I was not anticipating the K-trauma part of this story, and I'm not gonna spoil what that is, but it has to do with Park Bo-gum's character. I'm hoping that it will all be resolved by the end because I don't want a sad ending. This is not the type of drama you get a sad ending with, but I don't think it will be a sad ending. But there's definitely going to be some K trauma to get through before the ending. The fact is, it has K trauma, but also it's hilarious. Like, I am laughing my butt off watching this show. It's hilarious, and I've laughed so much. Definitely found family within the cop team and even some of the cops outside of the cop team, which I wasn't anticipating. And then you have a little found family with like the criminal group as well. Lee Sang-yi is, as I said back in June, is killing me in this show. He is still killing me. He is definitely a standout for me in this drama. Park Bo-gum, same. His acting in this is top tier. Probably my favorite role of Park Bo-gum. And I will say I haven't seen every single one of Park Bo-gum's roles, but he is great in this role. So good. He's just so animated and his facial expressions are great, but he has so much emotion behind all of his acting, whether he's acting as a puppy dog or K-trauma. I'm really enjoying Good Boy. I hope to finish this in the next couple weeks, and I really hope it sticks the landing. I think it will. I think it will. I'm really curious if this is gonna be a season 2 type thing. I don't know if it will. It could. It could, I guess. But I'm really glad Good Boy's working out because it was one of my anticipated Korean dramas of the year, and I'm still enjoying it. Next thing we're gonna talk about is Please Take Care of My Refrigerator Season 2. I am still slowly watching this. I probably will be watching it until the end of the year because it is still adding episodes. I am slowly watching this. I am not caught up whatsoever. I'm still enjoying it. I'm still liking the fact that I can just click play on an episode after a long, hard week of work and not have to think about much. It's still entertaining. I still like to see different people come in as guests and bring their fridges to the stage and then see how the chefs handle the food that is in their fridge. I'm just a huge foodie, so I always like watching food related variety shows. I'm still watching this. Think I've watched 15 episodes now, something like that. But I don't watch the episode every week. It's not one of those things where I try to watch an episode a week. I just am watching it whenever I feel like it. This will be on my watch list for a while, and it has been for a long time as well. That is everything Korean that I'm watching. Let's get into the Chinese dramas because I am watching a ton of Chinese dramas. Some that I probably should not have started, some that I needed to start, and some that I needed to get off my current watch list months ago, and I still haven't. So there's a good mix in here. The first one I'm gonna talk about is Medical Examiner Dr. Chin, the Mind Reader. This is the latest, medical examiner drama that I clicked play on. I've watched the first episode. This aired back in 2022. It has 28 episodes. I think I'm watching it on Viki. It stars Gala Zhang, who I like him as an actor, so I'm really excited to watch this, as well as Tong Min, who I like her as an actress. And then the third person in the trio is played by Pen Chu Yu, who I don't think I've ever seen in a drama, but I like him. He's good so far. I've only watched the first episode, so I have very preliminary opinions on all three of them. But this is your trio. We have Gala Zhang plays Dr. Chin. We have Tan Min, who is basically the medical assistant person who always makes up the trio people. And then we have Peng Chu Yu, who plays Lin Tao, who is the cop. We have medical examiners and cops. This seems to be like a prequel to season one. That will be interesting because I think medical examiner Dr. Chinmin in this drama, he's a newly graduated student or is a grad student. I can't remember. He's very young compared to season one, where he's been a professional coroner for years. And he basically goes back to his hometown and meets up with Lin Tao and another coroner who works there, and they team up and start working cases. You can see already, like, Chinmin does not work well with others in this. He's very closed off, doesn't really communicate with people, but he's just thrust into an environment where he has to work with people whether he likes it or not. He also has a germ problem where he doesn't like people touching his things. It'll be interesting, but I definitely like the chemistry between the trio more than I did in the Survivor drama that I finished last month. I already like it better. There is friction between the trio, but I think it's a friction that's like to be a teasing friction, not they're all out fighting as it was in the Survivor one that I finished last month. And I will say I like Tongmin. In the first episode, her acting was a little meh, but think it will get better. I think compared to Gala Zhang and Pen Yu, her acting just wasn't up to their acting, at least in the first episode, but I could see it growing. She seems stiff, and somewhat that's her character. Her character is a little stiff as well. I'm curious to see how that will grow and how the trio will grow and how their relationship will change. I can see the potential for found family. There is some comedy in this, which was nice. So I anticipate that I might like this. I definitely will like this better than the Survivor one that I finished, but I'm hoping I will like this just as much as season one because I haven't found one that I liked yet to that. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. That's the first Chinese drama I'm watching. I've only watched episode one. The next one that I recently started, I think I watched 5 episodes so far. To no one's surprise, I'm enjoying this, but I started Mysterious Lotus Casebook. This aired in 2023. It's an iQIYI drama. Stars Cheng Yi and Joseph Zhang, and then the third person is Zhao Shu Yao. To no one's surprise, I'm liking this. It is about Cheng Yi, who, after a duel 10 years prior to this drama, he disappears and is now a wandering doctor. And he pretty much just wants to stay that way. He doesn't want to fight anybody, doesn't want to have anything to do with the wuxia world. And he comes across Joseph Zhang's character, who is a active detective in this wuxia world, and he's basically forced into a relationship with Joseph Zhang's character. He just keeps bothering him. Obviously, I think they eventually team up with Zhao Xu Yao character, but I haven't gotten there yet. And them as a trio are investigating cases in this wuxia world. I'm reviewing this in a upcoming podcast episode, which is why I'm watching this. I have been wanting to watch this for a very long time, though, so I'm finally getting around to it. And as I said, it's right up my alley. You have a setup of a trio group of people walking around a historical setting or wuxia setting or shansha setting, handling weird cases, investigating weird cases. I always love a drama with that setup. To no one's surprise that I'm liking Mysterious Lotus Casebook. I should have watched this years ago, as we all know, and people have told me as well. I really need to make a list of Chinese dramas with this setup and just watch all of them because I'm sure a bunch of them are on my plan to watch list and I just need a list. This Chinese drama, I will say, opens up in a very epic way with a fight scene that set the bar high for sure in that first fight scene. I already love Chang Yi's character. He's probably going to be my favorite in this drama. I love how observant and clever and smart and kind of, I mean, I don't want to say manipulative, but he kind of teases Joseph Zhang's character a lot, at least in the first couple episodes, because he just basically wants to be left alone. So he kind of plays tricks on him. I love his character. And then Joseph Zhang's character, I think his personality complements Cheng Yi's character's personality a lot because he's very loud. He's louder than Cheng Yi, at least. He's funny. He's very loyal. You can tell his character is extremely loyal. So once the bromance starts, he definitely is gonna stick around and be Cheng Yi's person. I'm curious how the dynamic will switch up once Xiao Shu Niao's character shows up and becomes part of the trio, because you see him a little bit in the first 5 episodes by himself, handling some things by himself. And I don't want to reveal too many things, but he knows Chang Yi's character from 10 years ago and they were like rivals. It's weird because now he's walking around like he's lost something and he doesn't have a rival anymore because Chang Yi's character disappeared 10 years ago. He's obviously probably going to be rivals still once they meet up again, probably mad at him too. So it'll be interesting to see their dynamic when they finally meet up again, which I don't know when that will happen. But I'm 4 or 5 episodes into it. I'm loving it so far, which again, not surprising whatsoever. All right, the last one that I recently clicked play on that I also am loving is Coroner's Diary. I clicked play on this recently. I've watched the first episode. This is a 2025 Chinese drama. It aired back in July. It's an iQIYI drama starring Landy Li and Aoru Peng. Again, one of the dramas I am been anticipating since it was announced. I love Landy Li. I think she's a phenomenal actress. So to have her in a coroner drama, I'm like, oh, that is definitely a drama I plan to watch and definitely a drama that I probably will love. And then after episode 1, of course I liked it a lot. Landy Li, just to give a quick synopsis, because this is a drama new to my watch list. Landy Li plays Shen Wan. She is a daughter of a high ranking official, and at the very, very beginning of the drama, her entire family is massacred by somebody after being involved in this case that was being investigated. And she somehow escapes and takes on a new identity, and she learns all about medicine and how to be a coroner. And so she excels in healing people and saving people's lives, but also becomes a very skilled coroner in the process. And then years later, after her family is massacred, she meets Aoru Peng's character, who is the crown prince of King Rui. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And he is also investigating and clearing the name of this case that caused her family to die. And he is secretly doing that. And so they don't know that they are investigating the same case, obviously, in episode 1, but obviously they're going to team up eventually. So they meet in episode 1, and eventually I'm sure they're going to be teaming up and investigating different cases. And she's a coroner, he's a prince. They're going to be teaming up and investigating mysterious cases along the way. Obviously, with also a romance coming into play eventually. This pretty much, at least what I can see from social media, was a sleeper hit in 2025. A lot of people didn't anticipating it being popular, and it became very popular. So I'm even more excited to watch this. And I've been looking forward to it since it was announced anyway. And as my reaction from episode 1, which I loved, I'm really excited to watch more. I loved the first episode. I also love the second female lead already, Princess Young Ning, who is played by, what's her name? Her name is Shen Yu Ji, that Shen Yu J. I watched her first drama, Checkmate. I didn't like Checkmate. I didn't think Checkmate needed a female character, but it was supposedly supposed to be the sequel to My Roommate is a Detective, and it did not live up to that sequel, even though it really wasn't supposed to be a sequel. Her acting wasn't the problem in the drama, it was the story in that thing. I don't mind her as an actress. I love her character so far in Coroner's Diary. I think she was great. I love her acting. She has great chemistry with Aoru Peng's character because I think she is his cousin. And then speaking of chemistry, Aoru Peng's chemistry with Landy Lee is also really great in episode 1. They have a scene where he becomes really, really close to her face when he's fighting his cousin, and that was a great scene and already shows off their chemistry. So I'm loving Coroner's Diary so far, and I'm really glad I'm finally watching this after it being on my plan to watch list for a really long time. And then the last two Chinese dramas I'm going to talk about, but I'm only going to talk about very shortly, is Lover or Stranger and Love in Pavilion. Both of these are still on the back burner. I'm still needing to get other stuff off my watch list with podcast reviews and things coming up, but the plan is to finish them by the end of the year. I'm not dropping these because I've liked both of them from what I've watched and I want to finish them. So I'm keeping them on my watch list. At this point, I think what I'm going to do is every month, like October, I'm going to use that to finish Lover or Stranger. And then November, December, whatever month, I'm going to use it to finish Love in Pavilion. Both of those will be done by the end of the year because, again, I'm still liking what I watch and I don't want to drop them. And if I put them on hold, I'm never going to go back to them. Granted, next year, a goal of mine is to watch all the dramas on my on hold list because I only have 5, I think, 5 or 6. So I plan to finish those next year anyway. There's really nothing I need to say about Lover, Stranger, and Love and Pavilion because I haven't watched anything more of the dramas and I haven't really made progress or I have no new opinions of either one as well. Moving on, we have some Japanese dramas that I recently started as well, and then we have an anime to still talk about. I started 3 Japanese dramas recently. Should I have? I don't know, but I still did it because I decided that I needed romance in my watch list and figured I hadn't watched a ton of Japanese dramas, at least hadn't watched a ton of Japanese dramas this year. So why not start some to add romance to my watch list? I'm sure none of them are new to anybody because people have been watching them and talking about them for a while. The first Japanese drama I started is called Our Dining Table. This came out in 2023, so a couple years ago. The reason why I started this is because I've been wanting to watch this BL for a very long time, and I just have never had access to it. And I came across it on YouTube the other day, and I was like, "Oh, I have to watch this before it goes away." So I immediately binged 3 episodes of it, I think. It's very short. It's like 25-minute episodes, so it's very short and it's very easy to binge. It has 10 episodes in total. I apologize in advance. I'm gonna butcher some of these Japanese names because I'm horrible at pronunciation. So this stars Inukai Atsuhiro. He plays Yutaka. We have Ijima Hiroki, who plays Minoru. And then we have Mayama Kuga, who plays Tane. And this is about Yutaka, who is your average salaryman, works in corporate guy. He goes to work, comes home, goes to go work, comes home, doesn't do much else. But he is very talented at cooking. He loves cooking. But the problem is he doesn't like eating around people. And in the drama, we discover why that is, but I'm not going to spoil that. And he is eating lunch one day in a random park that he always eats at, and he turns around and Tane shows up. And Tane is an elementary school kid, and he decides to share his lunch with Tane. And then the next day, Tane and his brother Minoru are in the park waiting for Yutaka and ask Yutaka to come over to their house to teach them how to cook. The entire show is Yutaka coming over to their house every weekend, once a month, to teach them how to cook. And then the 2 older people, Yutaka and Minoru, start a romance as well. I mainly wanted to watch this because of the food. I love food dramas. So whenever a drama has food, I want to watch it. I have many, many that I still need to watch. If you have recommendations on food dramas, please let me know. And it did not disappoint. There's some great food shots on this, but I stuck around because of the romance, potential romance, I should say. There hasn't been much romance, but the interactions between Yutaka and Minoru in this drama, even the first 3 episodes, are fantastic, and it's really great. And then Tane is just adorable and cute and wholeheartedly supports their relationship and friendship. I can tell that this is going to be a healing drama because you can tell that both of the older kids, Minoru and Yutaka, have some trauma that they have to deal with, especially Yutaka. But I'm really excited to see where this goes and what is revealed and all around food in general, which I love. And I already love some of the lines that they have said between the two, and it's just adorable. It's an adorable Japanese drama, which you can find on YouTube. The next two, I'm sure everybody has already heard about. It's some popular romance Japanese dramas that have been watched and talked about all over social media in 2025. I am finally watching Usotoki Rhetoric, which is on Viki. This premiered last year in 2024, late last year. Again, sorry if I butcher any of these names. The female lead is played by Matsumoto Honoka, and then we have the male lead played by Suzuka Oji. And I have not watched many historical Japanese dramas, so I'm really happy I'm watching not one, which is Usatoki Rhetoric, but I'm also watching another one that is historical. I've never seen a lot of historical Japanese stuff, so I'm really curious with the time period and everything like this. So, this is a mystery Japanese drama, if anybody has never heard of this. It's set in the early Showa era, which is like 1920s, early 1930s, something like that. And it follows a detective played by Suzuka Oji. He is a broke detective. He doesn't have any cases, kind of like a cliche what you might find in some other detective stories. Doesn't have any cases, no one comes to hire him, and so he's constantly broke. But he is very observant. And then we have Matsumoto, who plays Kanoko, and she has the ability to detect lies. And he notices this, and they eventually team up, and she becomes his assistant, and they solve difficult cases. And I love the first episode of this. I loved how it was set up, what happened. I love both of the actors and their acting in this. I can see why a lot of people loved it and were talking about it when it was first added to Victi as a found family aspect, because his agency is next to a restaurant and they like eat for free basically there, whether the restaurant wants them to or not. I love that, like, you have a quirky girl. She is someone who can detect lies, so she doesn't like being around people because she doesn't like detecting the lies that people say. So she's kinda quirky, kinda weird, but then you have an equally quirky guy. You have an equally quirky detective who really doesn't see a problem with her power, which I love. I love that, and I love the messaging that has, where if you are different, if you are weird, be okay with that and somebody will like you for who you are, that type of messaging. I love that messaging. I always love that messaging. It is, of course, a mystery Japanese drama, so we have a crime Japanese drama. I always love a good crime drama, so it's no surprise I'm liking this a lot. And then we also can see a potential romance happening. Will it happen? I don't know. Does it need romance? I don't think so, but it could. And then the last one I am watching is a Comsi and Beautiful Days with You. I pretty much was waiting for Vicky to get all the episodes of this to watch. Is another historical Japanese drama, but it is definitely a rom-com. Definitely a rom-com. It stars Yushine Kyoka, who plays Natsumi, and then we have Honda Kiyoya, who plays Takimasa. They are the leads, and it takes place in 1930s, I think like 1935, 1936. Natsumi is in a large family with all daughters, and one day her father says she's going to get married, and she has never had a romantic relationship. Her father informs her that she's going to be married to an officer in the Imperial Navy, and they have their wedding, and she actually married a picture of him because he was away at sea at the time due to like naval training or something. And I think she was in their house for 2 weeks before he even showed up in person. Yeah, you can see this setup is gonna be very rom-com because they are both very awkward. He, like, doesn't know how to wife and how to be in a romantic relationship and what is supposed to happen. Entire first episode, a lot of it, it's, like, in her head where she's overanalyzing everything and is like, "Oh, he did this, how do I respond? What was that reaction? Blah, 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 blah." But he also is equally like that, he just is not as forward about it. Like, she'll do it right in the room with him, and just, like, her facial expressions are hilarious. He'll go into another room and then have her that reaction, and then not do it in front of her. So, like, there was this scene where she came in and asked him a question. He was, like, reading a newspaper, and he wanted to look all stoic and stuff, so he didn't say much, but the minute she left the room, like, you could just tell his hands on the newspaper clenched the newspaper, and he was just thinking constantly of what she just asked, and then while she was asking it, that reaction also happened. So it's basically about 2 individuals who never had really any romantic relationship navigating marriage when they really don't know anything about each other. It's like love after marriage, the love after marriage trope, set in a historical Japanese drama. And I liked the first episode a lot. It was a lot funnier than I thought it would be because I knew it was a rom-com. I just didn't know how funny it was. Their facial expressions are hilarious, and I love their personalities, and they're also just really awkward around each other because neither one of them know what to do. It's funny, it's hilarious, and I like their chemistry so far. So I'll be interested to see how their relationship changes over the drama as the drama progresses, because I can see that they will get more comfortable with each other and learn who they are in this marriage and support each other and that type of thing and how to interact in a marriage. But again, I can see why a lot of people like this drama because I definitely was smiling and laughing during the first episode as well. And you can watch that on Viki too. And then the last thing I am still currently watching, but I have made progress. I do plan on finishing this month. I was kind of waiting for September is Kaiju number 8 season 1. I'm almost done with this season, and the reason why I was waiting until September was because season 2 ends at the end of September. So I want to finish season 1 and then roll right into season 2. I'm still loving season 1. I just kind of put it on the back burner because I wanted to wait for season 2 to be pretty much almost over before I really started watching it. If you don't remember what Kaiju number 8 season 1 is, this anime is about a guy who wants to be a defense force member and he just has never been able to pass the test and he's getting older obviously. So he has one last chance to be part of the defense force and he gets attacked by a kaiju and the kaiju pretty much merges with him. So he becomes this like superhuman kaiju person and he obviously has to hide that when he goes and tries out for the defense force and again makes the defense force. So he is a guy who's supposed to be killing these kaiju people when they invade Earth, and he is secretly also a humanoid kaiju at the same time. Again, I said this in June when I was mentioning my watch list. I was not anticipating the comedy of all, but it is so funny. Like the main guy is his facial expressions, even when he's kaiju and he's talking to somebody. It's so funny. His facial expressions are so good, and his reactions are so good. I was not anticipating it how funny it was. I love the found family because he had one guy know immediately that he was this kaiju person, and then other people found out. So they're all like trying to hide this secret from their higher ups eventually. And the fight scenes are great because you have a lot of great action scenes about these people fighting kaiju along with him being a kaiju. So I'm loving this and I think I'm liking it a lot more than I thought I would. I'm really excited to finish up season 1 and then go right into season 2 because I've heard season 2 is just as good so far. So hopefully that sticks the landing. But that is everything I'm currently watching. I do have some things I plan to start watching, and obviously I'm going to be finishing some of this stuff by the end of the year. Like Queen Mantis is only 8 episodes, so that will be done not end of the year. Queen Mantis is only 8 episodes, so that'll be done by the end of the month, and I plan to finish some other things by the end of the month. But we'll see what I finish. But some of the dramas that I plan to start and add to my current watch list is Tempest that airs next week. I'm really trying not to have high expectations on Tempest. I really am not because we've been let down so many times with Korean dramas this year, especially Disney slash Hulu Korean dramas this year. So I'm really trying not to have high expectations, but this looks like it has a high budget, really high budget, and the cast is stacked and I really want a bodyguard romance, but I don't think how that's gonna be possible. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. It's also only 8 episodes, so I don't know. but that's what I'm going to be watch as it airs as well. Summer Strike is an older Korean drama that I'm going to be starting within the next week or so. I don't know how I'm going to like this drama, but I have to watch it for a podcast review. I know. I've heard so many different reviews of this, like not reviews. I've heard so many different opinions. It's either like, yes, I like the drama or no, I did not like the drama. So I'm really curious what I'm gonna think of it. Of course, I said I plan to start season 2 of Kaiju number 8 whenever I finish season 1, and then I have 3 more medical examiner Dr. Chin stuff to watch before I do the podcast review next month. So hopefully I have 1 drama and then 2 movies I still need to watch. So hopefully I can finish the Dr. Chin Mind Reader that I'm watching currently and then at least start Silent Evidence before the end of the month, but I have to get those 3 things watched by the end of October. So we'll have to wait and see what that happens. But that's pretty much what I plan to watch or add to my current watch list. There's many other airing Korean dramas that are coming out in September that I wanna add, but they don't have streaming platforms, so I don't wanna, like, say I'm gonna add them and then I'm not able to add them because they don't have streaming platforms. But that is the end of my current watch list. What are you guys currently watching and liking? Have you guys seen anything on my current watch list? What do you think? If you have seen Summer Strike, please let me know what you think of the drama. I'd be really curious to hear what other people like. Because yeah, I definitely know what happens in the second half because I mean people were yelling about it when it was airing. So I already kind of know what I'm getting into, but please let me know if you watched Summer Strike what you thought of it because I'm trying not to have expectations, but it's really hard because there's just so many like you either like the drama or you don't like the drama. So we'll have to wait and see what I think about Summer Strike. I do plan on starting that next week, though. Thank you for listening to another episode. Again, if you want to talk about dramas, please contact me on any of the social media. Let me know what you are currently watching and enjoying. If I'm missing anything that I need to watch, there's plenty that I still need to watch. But thank you for listening to another episode, and I will talk to you in the next one. If you want to continue the conversations about dramas that were started in this episode, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky under the username No Sleep for Dramas. That is No Sleep, the number 4 dramas, just like in the title of the podcast. This podcast is also an expansion of my blog, so you can visit my blog at www.nosleepfordramas.com, the number 4 dramas.com, and find multiple years of blog posts already available at your fingertips. All links are in the description of this episode. Finally, please give this podcast a like or a follow wherever you listen to the podcast. Leaving a comment or a review also helps a lot. We love hearing ideas and feedback from all of you. Share the podcast with your friends as well. Thank you for listening. This has been an episode of the No Sleep for Dramas podcast, and I am your host, Caitlin. I will see you here next time, and I hope you get no sleep chasing the next episode just like me. Good night.